Scandalous.
Ghostface Killer! It's your boy Crypto Blood. Welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is June 27, 2019. Let me give a shout out to my man Sir Crypto for this one. Classic right here, Ghostface Killer 260. Love this joint right here, man. Thank you for the song request. And welcome to another episode, people. Remember I said I was 3K blood? That's no longer. That changed really quickly. Back to just Crypto Blood, man. These markets are crazy. Looks like we're gonna hit that trend line that I've been talking about for maybe about a week or so now. We'll take a look at the details on the technical side of things here shortly. But the first article we're going to take a look at is out of CoinDesk, and it is about Snowden. The most important thing Bitcoin is missing right now is privacy, he says. We're going to take a look at some of the excerpts from this latest, I think it was an interview by Mr. Snowden. So I thought that was interesting since I've been talking a lot about privacy lately. Been sharing some articles with you guys regarding that matter, so we're gonna take a look at what he has to say. Also out of Cointelegraph, Amazon owned Twitch quietly brings back Bitcoin payments. And when me seeing this type of behavior just lets me know that a lot of the industry still doesn't understand really the utility of Bitcoin. It's not for payments. It's funny, they quietly brought Bitcoin back as a payment option, and I'm assuming this decision was weeks or maybe even a month or so in the pipeline. But look at what Bitcoin has just done. It went from nearly 14,000 down to just under 11,000. It's not something you want to pay for services. So just interesting to see this, and I thought we would take a look at that as well. Lastly, Singapore. They're like, nope, we need to know more about this Libra coin from Facebook. They have concerns about what is really going on with this. So we're going to take a look at all three of these short articles here in a second. First, heat map. This heat map is looking more red than a Crypto Blood wallpaper. Bitcoin down 19%. Ethereum down 17%. These are just, man, these are horrible prices here. I mean, this is some violent stuff, people. These are not, they can't be currencies. I'm sorry. This is just insane. So we got a whole sea of red, and probably the only ones that are green are going to be your stable coins for the most part. I mean, I don't even see one that is green that's not a stable coin here. So that's where we are with that. Very, very violent correction. And I said yesterday that I was doing my video at the moment we were having this candle right here, this one right here. Yeah, I was recording while that was occurring. I said, this is not a good look. It isn't technically a bearish engulf because the candle doesn't engulf the previous candle. It's not higher than the previous candle, but it still shows it wiping out over a day or two, maybe, about 2 days worth of gains in 1 hour. That's not a good look, people. And so we pretty much dropped back below the top of the pennant that I drew, and also the trend line of that pennant, the bottom part of the pennant. And yet again, this is some weird stuff, but we almost nearly bounced off my wiggly line again. I personally think that we will probably see something like this, a bounce off of that previous top side of the pennant and head down to this trend line at some point in the future here. I think we're going to get back to that trend line. Not sure, but that's how I would play it at this point. I'm just going to change the color of that so you can see that. So yeah, I think we're going to head back to this trend line, which we may end up meeting at around 10K or higher. I think 10K is a nice psychological whole number. So let's just see what happens. But yeah, that was a lot of bloodshed there. Bears really ripped us on that one. And it was funny the other day, I believe about a day ago, before we had the sell-off, I had a couple people, or at least one person, ask me, should I be buying right now? I told them no, don't buy right. You don't buy in the middle of a crazy run up. You wait for a pullback. So now is a good time to start buying in, dollar cost averaging in on your Bitcoin position if you're looking to get in. Because I don't, personally see us going below 10,000, at max 9,000, 9,100. So if you start purchasing a little bit now, a little bit later, you'll dollar cost average in at a good price. And before we get into the articles for today, I just want to let you guys know about a promo or a special going on with Moon Lambo Tees. If you spend over $200, you will save 25% on your entire cart. It'll automatically be applied if you spend over $200 at moonlambotees.com. So check them out. If you don't want to spend that much, you can always save at least 10% by using the word Crypto Blood 10 at the checkout. First article is about Snowden and his comments about the most important thing Bitcoin is missing is privacy right now. It says Bitcoin's biggest flaw is its lack of privacy, says Snowden. At the Bitcoin 2019 conference, the cybersecurity expert noted the importance of privacy as a source of liberty. I totally agree. The lack of privacy is an existential threat to Bitcoin. It is the only protection users have from political change, said Snowden. Snowden also stated that he was a Bitcoin supporter and even used an encrypted service that he paid for with Bitcoins in order to communicate with journalists back in 2013. And going on further, it talks about his experience being pursued by the United States government for sharing NSA data. Snowden pointed out the unrealistic expectations from regulators who want to be in control of cryptocurrencies. Going in depth about the regulations from banks and governments, Snowden also exposed the necessity for exchanges to defend their users' privacy. He fears that if one of the exchanges give up information, soon all of them would follow. If you actually go into the terms of big exchanges like Coinbase, they only want to cover themselves. They expose you, they close your account, and keep your funds, Snowden says. He also disliked the development of financial cryptocurrency services, claiming that many of them are starting to look too much like banks. Something unforgivable is that you guys keep developing services trying to be banks, and the world doesn't need more banks. And finally, the article says, leave no trace. Snowden also talked about the shadow brokers, a group of hackers that auctioned NSA information in exchange for Bitcoin in 2016. He noted that the hacking case was the starting point of a governmental war on cryptocurrencies. In short, he said, regulation doesn't work unless it becomes overly intrusive. Very true. If tracking Bitcoin was possible, then the NSA would have caught them. He said Satoshi Nakamoto is in the same position. He could navigate the system and leave no trace. And finally, Snowden says, if you know how the system works, you can still have privacy. And there you have it. So, guys, you can have privacy. There are many ways. I've given you articles. I've covered articles that talk about different ways of keeping your anonymity and liberty. That's really what the two should be synonymous: anonymity and liberty, not anonymity and doing illegal things. That's what they're trying to really associate anonymity with, and it shouldn't. It should be associated with liberty. So just do your research. Don't worry just about the price of these cryptocurrencies you trade. Learn and appreciate the technology and freedom that it gives you. That's just my 2 Satoshis on that. So I think I've been a Snowden fan since the whole NSA Prism thing came out. So it's just interesting to see his take on Bitcoin in 2019 from a privacy perspective. Let me know your thoughts about Snowden, about Bitcoin, and about the industry in general. Are they bending towards the banks and the governments? And when I mean they, I'm talking about a lot of the cryptocurrency services and companies that we now know. Are they bending too much to the right with governments and the banking cartel? Second article is out of Cointelegraph, and it is about Amazon-owned Twitch quietly bringing back Bitcoin payments. They're probably going to quietly take them away after this volatile move downward. It says leading game streaming platform Twitch has enabled Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash payments again. Cointelegraph Brazil reports on June 25th. As Cointelegraph reported at the time, in March, Twitch quietly removed Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash as payment options for subscriptions by removing BitPay as a payment method. Per the report, BitPay has been enabled again as a payment processor on the platform. Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash can be found as payment options in the section dedicated to the less common payment method of the subscription payment page. The renewed enabling of those coins as payment options has not been announced on the company's blog or in a press release. Bitcoin, after trading sideways in 3,000, 4,000 range for the first months of the year, has recently rallied and broke above 13,000 yesterday. So I wanted to bring this article to your attention just to show and illustrate the lack of understanding what Bitcoin is and how it should be utilized by many of these corporations. They still don't get it. They still don't get it. What was the reason they took it away? Was it because Bitcoin's price was suppressed and people weren't using it anyway? Based on the statistics, I actually did an article on this when it happened, when Twitch took it away. So what was the criteria for taking it away then? The utility part of it was the same. A person can pay X amount of Bitcoin or a fraction of a Bitcoin to pay for the service, whether Bitcoin is at 3,000 or 13,000. So I think it's just these corporations really trying to ride the wave in popularity of Bitcoin from the price perspective instead of understanding the technology as a whole. Was it stupid for them to take it away, and then even more stupid for them to bring it back? You guys let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below. But I just wanted to really highlight this article and show the stupidity going on out here. Either be with the crypto game or not. Last article is out of CoinDesk, and it is about Singapore's central bank wanting more information about Facebook's Libra coin crypto. Singapore's central bank, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, is seeking more information from Facebook about its recently unveiled cryptocurrency project Libra. As reported by Bloomberg, the Monetary Authority of Singapore managing director said at a media briefing on Thursday that his institution has held talks with the social media giant over concerns about how Libra would function, although he acknowledged there are potential benefits too. Currently, the MAS is having trouble deciding on how to categorize Libra in terms of regulation. At this point, we are not sure yet, he says. Regarding the possible benefits, he said that the Libra offers a very interesting proposition that could help to address existing expensive, inefficient, and sometimes risky methods of remittance. However, MAS needs more information to gauge these benefits over existing electronic payment systems. The regulator needs to understand exactly how it's going to work, including aspects such as Libra's economics and security and privacy. The managing director's comments come as the latest in a line of global regulators to state that more information is needed to understand the benefits and risks of Libra. Authorities in Italy, the UK, and France have recently indicated that Libra raises issues that must be examined. And so this next part in the article I actually covered the day after talking about Libra, and that is in regards to the U.S. House Financial Services Committee, who will be hosting a hearing with Facebook's Libra coin next month, just a day after the Senate Banking Committee holds its own hearing. So we'll see. I mean, as I've stated, I wanted to bring this article up because these are the things that they're going to run into, these roadblocks. I do not see this Libra coin being just successfully just rolled out with no problem by next year. It's just too much power to give one company. You guys let me know your thoughts. Do you think the Libra coin will be rolling out globally by 2020? Or even, let's just say, in the United States? Do you think they're going to allow it to roll out in 2020 in the United States? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below. That's pretty much it, though, for today, ladies and gents. Shout out to my man, Sir Crypto, for that song request. Ghostface Killer 260. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Click that bell. When you share this video, you help this channel. It's your boy Crypto Blood. That's my 2 Satoshis for June 27, 2019. I'm out of here, people. Ha!